Hi, welcome back. I'm Katie Kempner, and we're here at Advertising Week Europe doing another episode of Perspectives Live. Right now, I'm very lucky to be talking with Tess Alps, CEO and founder of Thinkbox. Welcome, Tess.
Thank you very much, Katie.
Thank you for stopping by. So, can you tell me a little bit about Thinkbox?
Thinkbox is the marketing body for all of commercial TV in the UK. So our shareholders are ITV and Channel 4 and Sky. 92% of commercial TV revenue is represented. And our definition of television is that content wherever you find it, whatever glass screen you watch it on. So VOD included. So a platform neutral, technology neutral definition of TV.
And before founding Thinkbox, what was your career trajectory, so to speak?
Okay. Before Thinkbox, I was in my mid-50s when I was persuaded to come along and help save telly, thinking probably I should retire back then, but I just couldn't resist the opportunity to do my bit for telly, which I love. Before that, I spent 13 years at a media agency called PhD, which you'll have heard of.
Right.
I was there practically at the start and saw it grow into an international network. And before that, because I am quite old, I worked at various television companies.
So, as the founder of a company, I'm sure you deal a lot with how women are regarded in business, and you said you have very strong views on that, and I would love to hear them.
Yes, obviously, as a woman myself, and my managing director is a woman, and at PhD, my managing director was a woman, so I like working with women. I don't like the queen bee syndrome. You often get that where one woman likes to be like the queen of an organisation and you don't see very many other women around. And I belong to something called Women in Advertising and Communications London, which is a very significant networking group where we try very hard to use our influence to make conditions better for working women and for senior women. And in that group are now many CEOs of major companies, like Carolyn McCall, the CEO of EasyJet, Diane Thompson, the CEO of Camelot. And a lot of what we do at Wackle is to help develop women. We have a fund where we subsidise people going on advanced leadership training, so getting an MBA. Wackle helps pay for middle management women to go on these senior courses, because often it's women who don't get that sort of investment from their companies. Yeah. So I believe passionately in helping women because they're still not represented adequately. However, there's a big however, I also feel that making issues around childcare, which I suppose in the end is the thing that distinguishes men from women. Women unfortunately have to get pregnant, so they're the ones at the moment, you know, who knows what technology might do. But at the moment it's the women who get pregnant and have to give birth and probably breastfeed for 6 months minimum. After that, I think it's not massively in women's interests to make the issue of parenthood solely a woman's concern. And I see silent censorship going on with people look at women in their mid-30s, they've just got married and they think, aye, this woman's going to go off and have a baby soon, and she probably is. And at the moment, if we only make childcare a female problem, that's going to disadvantage women. So my great passion is to say, let's make all companies what I call family-friendly, so that dads can be good dads too. Dads can go to the Christmas concert or take the kid to the dentist. And somebody without children can look after their ill parent or their ill sister or whatever it might be. So we should all run companies where everybody can be a good member of a family.
I think that makes a lot of sense, and I actually completely agree with you. And I was talking with Cindy Gallup. You know Cindy Gallup?
Well, I don't know her, but I know who she is.
Yeah, she has very similar views that as you do, and she had said during Advertising Week in New York that same thing, which is this is really a problem of how companies are structured. Having said that, and I do agree with you, I think there is certainly the case where women, when they are at that point in their 30s, are, you know, not only are employers looking at them, but they're looking at their own life and saying, well, wait a second, maybe I don't want to take that bigger job because I want to have a kid. You know? And those are choices that they shouldn't have to make either.
Absolutely not. And I think it's fine if in the event that 80% of the people who take flexible working are women. I think it's fine if that's the outcome and that's everybody's choice. I just want to make it possible for the 20% of men who want to do it to be those to be that, and that we think about it in a sort of gender neutral way, even if the outcome is more biased towards
Yeah.
women. I think often women in their 30s think it is a choice of either or. You know, do I get on in my job? Am I going to be ambitious, or am I going to build a family? And I think certainly I would strongly believe that it's not an either or decision. You know, I've promoted women while they've been off on maternity leave. You shouldn't, of course it's a small gap, but do you know what? It's not that long.
Yeah.
It's really not that long. And if you're a responsible woman who's probably a director and you are ambitious, you will do just enough to stay just in contact enough. And you will behave responsibly, and you'll come back and you'll be a completely fabulous person, and everybody will be delighted that you come back because you're that good. So I hate it when women decide to have a child because their career isn't going anywhere. Mm-hmm. And I'm afraid that has happened too. And sometimes you think, well, the reason their career isn't going somewhere is because you, man, who runs it, has decided not to promote them because you think they're going to have a child. So it is a very complicated and complex situation. But we've got to have children. I mean, that's, you know, humanity needs people to have children.
Yes.
Even if you're not going to have a child yourself, you need somebody else to have a child, because who's going to nurse you on your bloody sick bag unless you've got people paying taxes or. So we all have to make it possible for the world to have some children, and so we shouldn't resent the people who choose to take time.
Well, I know you have a child. So
I do. Yes.
So how did that work for you?
Well, I've been married 37 years, I think, Katie, and only decided in my late 30s, I thought, oh shit, I've forgotten to have a baby. So I'd been married nearly 20 years by the time I had a child, but it happened, and at age 40, so I would certainly encourage people to try and have children a bit earlier than 41. Not ideal, but on the other hand, he keeps me sort of in touch with modern life and trends, and so I can play World of Warcraft with the best of them. And in fact, only today he's up looking at his university. So this is the last year I'll have him at home.
Oh, and so then that's something else to face. Wow.
Yes, I know. I'll have to talk to my husband again. That's going to be hideous.
You don't want to have another kid, do you?
Well, I'm open to all suggestions if you know the technology that can make that happen.
So, last thing, I just want to ask you, you know, all the women walking around today, I've asked this of all my guests, if you had one piece of advice to give them starting out in their career, what would it be?
It would be, it's never too late. It's never too late to try anything. It's, you know, it's never too late for me to have a child. It was never too late for me, age 55, to be persuaded to come and set up a whole new company from scratch and to do well. Because I believe in keeping learning and keeping trying new things. Because, you know, even if it doesn't work out, I think if you try things, you learn a lot even when it's a failure. So don't say it's too late to this or too late to that. It's just never, ever too late.
That's great advice. Thank you. It
You're
was
welcome.
lovely to meet you.
Okay. Brilliant.
And thank you. Wait,
Yay.
don't go, Tess.
Oh.
We're saying goodbye.
Oh,
Say goodbye.
Oh, I'm saying goodbye. Sorry, I was a little premature then. Bye.
Bye. We'll see you again in a little while. Bye-bye.